We noticed you guys liked our past alien videos, so here's a brand new list. And if you haven't already, be sure to click that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you never miss a future video ever again. I'm your host Andrew, and without further ado, here are your top 10 scary alien encounter stories that prove they exist. Let's get right into this list. Coming in at our number 10 spot, we have the case of Travis Walton. In 1975, Travis Walton was working as a logger in Arizona when he claimed to have been abducted by a UFO. He was with a group of other loggers at the time, and they all witnessed the same thing with the UFO before it whisked Walton away. After being missing for 5 days, Walton reappeared with a very strange story of having been taken aboard the UFO and subjected to a series of medical examinations by the aliens. He claimed he was taken to a somewhat operation room with 3 short bald-headed figures, where he started to panic and fight them off, and this was when another human-looking figure took him to another room where he passed out and then reappeared on a highway completely nude. That's the last thing he remembered. The incident gained widespread attention and was even investigated by the US Air Force. Many people were skeptical of Walton's story at first, and some suggested that he may have fabricated the whole thing. However, the other loggers who were with Walton at the time of the incident all swore that they saw the UFO and believed Walton was telling the full truth. Coming in at our number 9 spot, we have Ariel School. In 1994, a group of 69 pupils at the Ariel School in Zimbabwe claimed to have witnessed one or more silver crafts descending from the sky and landing on a field near their school. The pupils aged between 6 and 12 reported seeing one or more creatures dressed in black that approached them and telepathically communicated an environmental message that frightened them and caused them to cry. This incident has been described as the most remarkable close encounter of the third kind of the 1990s by 14 writer Jerome Clark, while skeptics have labeled it as a case of mass hysteria. The sighting took place during the mid-morning break, and the entire incident lasted about 15 minutes, with the adult faculty inside having a meeting at the time. Upon returning to their class, the pupils told their teachers what they had just seen but were dismissed. However, when they returned home and told their parents, many of the parents came to the school the next day to discuss what had happened with the faculty. However, the incident remains a subject of debate to this day among skeptics, and people will never know what these children really saw. Coming in at our number 8 spot, we have the Falcon Lake sighting. On May 20th, 1967, Stefan Mikulek, an amateur geologist, was prospecting for precious metals in Falcon Lake, Manitoba, when he witnessed a UFO sighting. The incident was investigated by various Canadian authorities, including the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, the Royal Canadian Air Force, the Department of Health, and the Department of National Defense. Mikulek went to Falcon Lake to prospect for quartz and silver in a previously staked claim. While examining a quartz vein, he was startled by the sounds of a flock of geese agitated by 2 objects emanating a reddish glow hovering about 45 meters away from him. Mikulek first assumed the objects were American experimental aircraft. One of the objects landed on a nearby rocky platform and took on a dish shape, while the other craft flew away after hovering in the air just for several minutes. It was supposedly 10.5 meters long and 4.5 meters high. He was so sure he saw it as clear as day that he even drew a photo of what he saw, and this is kind of what it looked like. The landed craft also changed color between gray and red, resembling hot stainless steel, with a golden glow emanating around the vehicle. According to Mikulek, the craft had an open door on its side with bright lights, and he could actually hear the muffled voices of some sort of individuals within the craft. He claimed that the speakers sounded human with 2 discernible voices, one higher than the other. Shortly afterward, he was struck in the chest by a blast of air or gas that pushed him backward and set his shirt and cap ablaze. At our number 7 spot, we have the Westall UFO sighting. On April 6, 1966, students and a teacher from Westall High School in Melbourne, Australia, witnessed another UFO. The object was described as a gray or silvery green saucer-shaped craft with a slight purple hue to it, about twice the size of a family car, and reportedly pursued by 5 unidentified aircraft. The UFO was said to have descended, flown over the school, and then disappeared behind some trees. Roughly 20 minutes later, it reappeared and quickly departed towards the northwest. Despite eyewitness accounts, several explanations were offered, including a weather balloon and a high altitude balloon used to monitor radiation levels after British nuclear tests. Keith Basterfield, who located documents in the National Archives and former document of supply, suggests that the high altitude balloon project is the most likely explanation. At our number 6 spot, we have the UFO Mitosis sighting. In recent times, sightings of strange objects in the sky have become more and more common, leading many to believe that extraterrestrial life may be visiting our planet as we speak. One such sighting occurred in Warminster, England, where a parked car passenger noticed what appeared to be helicopters or drones, which then split into smaller objects and perform a series of coordinated maneuvers. A similar video was also captured in Sunderland, where 2 bright orbs looped across the sky and split into smaller objects that perform similar maneuvers. Some experts believe that these objects could be UFOs undergoing a process known as UFO mitosis, where objects replicate themselves and follow a similar trajectory. Additionally, author Alexis Brooks wonders if the splitting of these objects is part of an actual biological process, with the assumption that the craft itself may be sentient. However, military analyst Tim McMillan suggests that these objects are not classified military technology or even UFOs. Instead, he suggests that they may be drones specifically designed to provide a firework display that showers sparks and does barrel rolls in the sky. While this is a potential explanation, no one has ever come forward to say that they own these drones that were in the sky that day. And for all we know, these were unidentified aircrafts that were flying in the sky. In the hump of our list, we have the fast-moving drone. A Wisconsin drone enthusiast, John Sukawati, was recording footage of storm clouds moving in when his drone captures something very unexpected. Upon reviewing the footage at home, Sukawati spotted a blurry white object zooming by the drone and another object appearing to emerge from behind a cloud. Forensic investigator Chase Kolotsky ranked the UFO videos in her top 5% for credibility, noting similar drone encounters have been popping up, with some suggesting that they could be secret military micro drones or even alien technology. Video forensic expert Michael Prino analyzed the footage and deemed it not fake. Mike D'Antoni theorized the object could be a bird flapping its wings or even a seal pod. While the footage still remains an unidentified object, the incident is part of a growing phenomenon of UFO sightings, especially ones with drones. Number 4, potential UFO in space. In March of 2017, 2 astronauts were on a routine spacewalk to perform maintenance on the International Space Station, which orbits the Earth at a distance of 250 miles, by the way. NASA flight engineer Peggy Whitson filmed their mission, and during their process, she captured something very unusual on camera. In the footage, a strange object can be seen following the astronauts, spinning slowly as if it's trying to get a better view. The object is visible in the background for almost the entire 7-hour spacewalk, and social media exploded with people speculating that this is proof of a UFO monitoring the ISS. Theories about extraterrestrial surveillance networks have been around for decades. Some believe the centerpiece of this network is a mysterious satellite called the Black Knight, Batman, which avoids detection through a cloaking device. The Black Knight satellite flies in a peculiar rotation around the Earth from pole to pole. As the Earth spins in that direction, eventually every continent will come underneath where this Black Knight satellite flies. Number 3, the Allagash Abduction. The Allagash Abduction is one of the most famous Men in Black cases in history. In 1976, 4 college students from Maine were out camping near Allagash Waterway when they noticed a strange light in the night sky. Initially believing it to be an airplane, the group soon realized that what they were witnessing was far more mysterious, as the light began to move erratically before eventually completely disappearing. A few minutes later, the group heard a loud humming sound coming from above and saw 2 bright lights in the sky. This time, they knew that it wasn't an airplane. The next thing they remembered was waking up hours later with no recollection of what just happened during those hours. The 4 men reported that their abductors had gray skin with large eyes, bald heads, and communicated telepathically with them during their experience. They were taken aboard a UFO where various medical tests were performed on them before being released back to the campsite. Afterwards, the men encountered 2 men in black who warned them not to tell anyone about their experience or else face serious consequences. The men in black reportedly had pale skin, dark hair, wore suits similar to those seen in the movie Men in Black that was released in 1997. Despite these threats, all 4 men came to come forward with their story years later, and let's hope nothing bad happened to them or anyone they loved. Number 2, the UFO-Stopped play. 60 years ago, a football match in Florence came to an eerie halt when unidentified flying objects were spotted above the stadium. The incident cannot be easily dismissed as mass hysteria, since numerous UFO sightings were reported in Tuscany and surrounding areas at the same time. Players and spectators alike were stunned by the objects, with some described as egg-shaped and moving very slowly, while others likened them to be Cuban cigars. The mysterious objects left behind silver glitter, which some called angel hair. Italy's National UFO Center's president, Roberto Pinotti, describes the event as an intelligent phenomenon, a technological phenomenon, and a phenomenon that cannot be linked with anything we know on Earth. Despite the passage of time, eyewitnesses like Gigi Boni and Romolo Tucci are still convinced that they saw extraterrestrial objects that day. The incident remains an unsolved mystery and fascinating story for those who believe in the possibility of alien life. Coming in at our number 1 spot, we have the Phoenix Lights. On March 13th, 1997, a series of lights appeared in the skies over Arizona and Nevada. Known as the Phoenix Lights, thousands of people saw the lights over a span of 300 miles, with witnesses describing a huge carpenter square-shaped UFO containing 5 spherical lights. There were 2 distinct events involved: a triangular formation of lights seen to pass over the state, and a series of stationary lights seen in the Phoenix area. While some believed it was evidence of extraterrestrial life, it was later attributed to aircraft participating in Operation Snowbird. Well, these are the top 10 scary alien encounters that prove they exist. What do you guys think about this list? Leave a comment down below and some thoughts for some future videos. And some suggestions for some future videos. Be sure to click that like button, smash that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification so you never miss a future video ever again. I'm your host Andrew, and I hope you guys have a scary day.